Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is pushing back against calls for a ceasefire in Gaza, vowing that the war will go on for many more months. This comes as the Israel Defense Forces announced that some reservists will be sent home from the front lines in Gaza. An IDF spokesperson says this will help boost the economy and allow the military to gain strength for the new year of fighting. Now let's turn to Associated Press Jerusalem correspondent Isabel Debray. Isabel, good morning.
Good morning. We are hearing, as you mentioned, from the Israeli forces that they are withdrawing several thousand troops from the Gaza Strip. That's up to 5 brigades. And honestly, this caught a lot of people by surprise because it's not like we're seeing the fighting winding down on the ground. We've actually seen many Israeli airstrikes, artillery strikes in the last 24 hours, killing at least 156 Palestinians, according to Gaza health authorities. So this has caught people by surprise, but we do know that it does come as President Biden, as you mentioned, has been pushing Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to move away from this particularly destructive, deadly phase of the war that has killed nearly 21,800 Palestinians and into a more targeted phase that specifically is conducting surgical strikes on Hamas militants. It also comes a couple of days before we know that U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is due in the region. And we've spoken to experts who say that these two events are certainly connected as the international pressure increases. And we also know that the Israeli military right now is mostly focused on the southern town of Khan Yunis. This is the place where forces are pushing deeper and deeper into the town with tanks. And we know that they believe that many Hamas militants and leaders have been fleeing there and taken refuge after fleeing the fighting in the north. And so as a result, the other parts of the Gaza Strip have become a bit less important, particularly that northern area that was the center of fighting in the beginning of the campaign. And now they believe that they have full operational control over that area, or at least nearly full operational control. But as you mentioned, we are still seeing warnings from Israeli officials that this war is not even close to over. People are saying that it will be a long and difficult war. And as proof of that, almost literally as the clock struck midnight, we saw not only a very deadly Israeli strike on Khan Yunis that wounded dozens of Palestinians as well, but we also saw a Hamas barrage of rocket fire that sent air raid sirens wailing across southern and central Israel. And this was actually the first such barrage in a few days. It caught many people by surprise because, again, the war's goal is to destroy Hamas's capabilities. And here we are nearly 90 days into this devastating campaign, and Hamas did fire this barrage of rockets. Nick?
Once again, putting everyone in the community on edge. Isabel Debray live for us this morning. Isabel, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.